Don't know about anybody else, but I have been completely traumatized by these files that have come out. And not just because of what's in the files, but also because of what it means for everybody else in the world. I am a survivor of severe narcissistic abuse, post separation abuse, and family court corruption. And I have been healing for years. In the last couple of months, I have just recently started telling my story. And it's been liberating, but it's also been terrifying at the same time. I don't know about anybody else who has survived narcissistic abuse, but one of my biggest triggers is when I encounter another narcissist. I want to make it clear that I am not political in any way. I never have been. I've never really followed politics because, to be honest with you, I really think that most people in politics are crooked. I also study psychology, and I am a huge advocate for survivors of all types of abuse, domestic violence, narcissistic abuse. And narcissistic abuse includes every abuse that there is, which is financial abuse, physical abuse, psychological abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, you name it. If it's abuse, it's included in narcissistic abuse. The voices of survivors has been silenced for far too long. I'm going to quickly explain a few characteristics of a narcissist. And one of the main ones is that they thrive off of terrorizing their targets. It makes them feel powerful. It makes them feel in control. And for some reason, it makes them feel good to hurt other people. They will do this in any way that they possibly can. It is diabolical and it is absolutely intentional. A narcissist will manipulate anybody that they can. They will flat out lie about everything. They will take the smallest amount of truth and twist it to fit their narrative, which is very, very common. They paint their victims as crazy or unstable, or they paint themselves as the victim. They gaslight, they minimize, they project, and if everything that they have tried does not work, they rage. Trump is absolutely a narcissist. He is the king narcissist. And I know there are a lot of people that are still thinking that he would not have released these files if he was somehow guilty. But this is where the narcissism comes in. Number one, he released those files in a very small amount in the very beginning, and they were heavily redacted to protect him from whatever he was involved in. But I can assure you that the reason he released the files is number one, because he was able to traumatize the entire world with those files. I read some of them. I saw some videos and some pictures. And it is, for those of you who haven't seen it, I'm not going to describe anything, but it is straight out of a horror film. But it's not a scary movie. It is real life. And Trump wanted to traumatize the whole world. He wanted to have that power to say that he did it. The exact moment that I knew he was a narcissist was when he made the comment, we should just move on. because that was a trigger for me. I cannot tell you how many times the narc, and when I say the narc, I am talking about the evil entity that I am forced to share 50-50 custody with right now. He would be extremely abusive for days and days and days on end, sometimes weeks on end. And when he decided he wanted it to stop, then he would just look at me and be like, it's time to get over it. Time to move on. Exactly like Trump did. The shoulder shrug, the arrogant smirk, all of it identical, right out of the narcissist playbook. Trump tried to release only a small portion of those files because he thought we were all stupid. He thought we wouldn't push for more. We wouldn't push for the unredacted files. We wouldn't push to see what was behind the surface of what he did show us. He tried to pull focus away with immigration. He wanted us to focus on that instead. He tried to minimize the files, saying that other things were more important, like immigration. Did you know the only immigrants in the files are the victims? He wanted to deflect by bringing up UFOs. I'm sorry. Which is another huge tactic of narcissists. He tried to project by naming other people who were in the files, saying that they were the ones that were bad and not him. He even brought in Darvo and tried to say that he was the victim because it's supposedly a conspiracy against him. He gaslit all of us into questioning our reality. As any person who has seen any of those files or heard any of the horrible things that he and his friends did, it made you question your reality for sure. I've been questioning my reality for the last 2 weeks because of all of this. How could all this be happening in our country, in our world? And we didn't know. But I will tell you this, every single safe parent who is fighting one of these demonic narcissists in family court, we saw something. We knew. How could the system be so broken? How can these abusers be protected? And how can our children be getting handed over to these monsters by law? Trump and Epstein are ultimate narcissists. But if you think for 1 second that one of these low-level narcissists that are in family court would not escalate to a Trump-Epstein level, you're sadly mistaken. The only reason that they haven't is because they don't have the money, the control, and the power to get that far. So many people have a hard time believing survivors of narcissistic abuse because a narcissist will mirror the emotions of other people and put on this false persona in front of people that don't really know them to make themselves look like a good person. And nobody wants to walk around thinking that people are evil, but they are. Nobody is going to put in the time and effort and heartbreak that it takes to try to expose a narcissist if that's not really what they're going through. Now that everybody in this world is a victim of narcissistic abuse, I have one question. Do you believe us now?